Pride versus confidence. This is the Faith and Identity Reset, episode number 3 in this series. Confidence is quiet. Pride is loud. Confidence is rooted. Pride is fragile. Confidence can be corrected and still stay calm. Pride gets corrected and feels threatened. Confidence doesn't need to be seen to be real. Pride needs the room to agree with it. And here's what makes this rich and tricky at the same time. A lot of us were taught that being confident means being untouchable, being unbothered, and being above it. But that's not confidence, that's protection. Today we are detoxing the difference between pride and confidence, so you and I can be grounded without needing to be impressive. Hey y'all, I'm Madison Samone Chase, also known as Miss Chase. I was raised by an incredible single mom who is my biggest fan and my BFF for real. I'm also a celebrity certified personal trainer, fitness and wellness expert, and sports and entertainment media host. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, raised in Dallas, built in Los Angeles. I trained at Juilliard with School of American Ballet, becoming the world's only 3-time ESPN Miss Fitness champion, appearing in more than 450 fitness DVDs. The first of the 450 fitness DVDs was led by celebrity trainer Gunnar Peterson, who's known for training the Kardashian family. As a celebrity trainer myself, some of my most notable clients include Robert Pattinson of Twilight and Batman, Chris Tucker of Rush Hour, and Amber Riley of Glee. As a sports and entertainment media host, some of my favorite red carpet moments include chatting with Richard Branson, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emma Stone, Viola Davis, Tyler Perry, Justin Baldoni, Issa Rae, and Tiana Taylor, to name a few. I share my accomplishments not out of ego, but to honor the sacrifices my mom planted so that I could blossom and flourish into the woman I am still becoming. So if you're listening and or watching, pull up a digital chair, grab yourself a cup of hot or cold herbal tea, and welcome to my cozy home of Cut to the Chase at 8. A 15-minute micro-learning moment for macro living. And I am so overjoyed that you're here, because this is where we explore and lean into life with our lived experiences, yours and mine, where we invite lots of grace in this space because we're living in some really interesting times. We chat all about spirit, mind, and body, health, because that is ultimately our wealth, and microdoses for macro living. Make sure you join me just twice daily for just 15 minutes. That's it. At 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, because this is your 15-minute chance for your daily pause, for a cause, for clarity, wellness, and intentional decision making, and giving yourself grace, because how we start our day and how we end it matters. Each episode, my offer to you is 3 keys and 1 question, and something for you to sit with, hopefully encouraging you to give yourself grace in this space with something practical, something grounded, and something you could carry with you. So wherever you're listening from, I want you to turn it up and tune in. And if anything you hear today pricks your heart or it lights a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe and share this with someone you care about. And please leave a comment so that this becomes a dialogue and not a monologue. And leave a 5-star rating if you feel led. Now, let's take a breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's lean into today's episode of Cut to the Chase at 8. Let's cut the noise. Let's get clear. And let's get ready, set, and grow and go and be great. Today's episode title is Pride versus Confidence. Let's start with what confidence actually is. Confidence is identity anchored. It's what happens when you know who you are. And you don't need constant proof from the outside. Confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is not trying to dominate a conversation or a situation. Confidence is not needing to be the loudest person in the room or the person that's seen. Pride, on the other hand, is usually a fear response. It's what shows up for us when our ego feels like it has to protect something, protecting an image, protecting a reputation, protecting a wound or a trauma, or protecting the feeling of being quote unquote enough. And because pride and confidence can look like twins because they look similar on the outside, but they feel very different on the inside. Part number one, pride is insecurity dressed up pretty. Pride often shows up when we feel threatened, not always by a person, sometimes by a mirror. Pride can look like defensiveness, sarcasm, needing the last word, refusing to apologize cleanly, and needing credit to feel safe, and competing when no one has invited a competition. Pride doesn't always announce itself as pride. Sometimes it looks like, oh, I just have standards. I'm just confident. I'm just not like other people. But if you have to diminish others to feel secure, that's not confidence. That's actually insecurity. Which brings me to key number one. Inside the body, how does confidence feel? Confidence is quiet and rooted. Pride is loud and fragile. Translation: when you and I feel confident, we don't need to defend our worth every time it's questioned. When pride is leading, you feel like being corrected is a threat. And oftentimes you're the person who doesn't like to be corrected, or you don't even invite suggestions or correction. So, is there a time that you felt defensive and later realized you were protecting your pride? Or has there ever been a time where you needed to be right at any cost and it cost you a connection? Part number two, confidence is calm enough to be corrected. Confidence doesn't collapse under feedback because confidence is not built on being perfect. It's built on being secure. Confidence can say, I hear you, and then you're really listening. You're right because you're not offended by what the person has shared with you. It could also say, I didn't think about it like that. You know what? I was wrong. I apologize. Thank you for sharing that with me. I appreciate that. And that's not weakness, that's security. Which brings me to key number two. What happens inside of the body is confidence doesn't compete. Pride needs comparison to feel safe. When confidence is leading, you can celebrate someone else and still feel whole. You could fix someone else's crown without knowing that it takes away from your crown. And when pride is leading, someone else's win feels like your loss. And that's not true. Has there ever been a moment you softened and it strengthened a relationship? And you can't do this with every relationship. Like, it has to be a relationship that you feel safe in. Has there ever been a moment you honored someone else without comparing yourself? Which brings me to part number three. The detox is character plus regulation. Here's the detox part. Pride lives in performance. Confidence lives in character. Character is what you are when no one claps or cheers for you or puts likes on your social media page. Character is what you choose when nobody sees. Character is what we do when it costs us something. And regulation matters when your nervous system is dysregulated. Pride gets louder. When you feel unsafe, you protect. When we feel exposed, we perform. When we feel insecure, we compare. And insecure is a close second to our self-esteem. So the detox isn't just about be humble. The detox is to learn how to be safe enough to soften and be vulnerable. Because humility isn't weakness. Humility is strength with softness. Which brings me to key number 3. Inside of our body, character builds confidence. Performance feeds our pride. So if you're always performing, your pride is staying fed and it will eventually grow an insatiable appetite. If you're building character in private, confidence gets stronger. So when was there a moment you chose humility and it restored your peace? Or a moment you chose character over trying to create this perfect image publicly or on social media? So here's our practical reset. Choose one moment to practice that is a teachable moment for you. And ask yourself, when you feel defensive, pause and ask, what am I protecting right now? Practical reset number 2. Practice a clean apology with no but. You're right. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'll do better. Number 3, celebrate someone else without comparison. Practice honoring without shrinking or competing. Number 4, 1, confidence deposit. Do something that builds confidence and character in private. And our 1 reflection question: where am I protecting pride when I'm being invited to practice real confidence? And sit with that, because pride is one of those things that can eat away at you. And pride often comes before a fall, because it is an insatiable appetite to pride that you can never ever feed enough. So sit with that. And so before you go, I just want to say thank you from the bottom and top of my heart. It's truly been an honor and a pleasure sharing this time with you. And thank you for continuing to give yourself grace in this space with me today. I am so genuinely thankful you chose to step into this cozy digital home with me. So before you head out, let's quickly revisit our 3 keys and 1 question to reflect on from today's episode. Key number 1, confidence is quiet and rooted. Pride is loud and fragile. Key number 2, confidence doesn't compete. Pride needs comparison to feel safe. Key number 3, character builds confidence. Performance feeds our pride. And our 1 question to sit with today: where am I protecting pride when I'm being invited to practice real confidence? So if today's episode offered you clarity, insight, or even a pause for a cause you didn't know you needed, if there's anything that I shared that pricked your heart or lit a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe. Subscribe here. You could also subscribe to my free community. That's a private community on Facebook. You can share this with someone you care about, and or leave a comment so that this becomes a dialogue and not just a monologue. And if you feel led, a 5-star rating. It truly helps this space to grow and reach others who may need it. And before we close, I want to extend a gentle invitation to join my free community that will be in this link. And if you've been listening consistently or feel led, I'd love for you to join my exclusive community, the Cut to the Chase Circles founding member. This is a foundational community who will eventually build and shape and grow. With this community will come the virtual space and the in-person space in small groups. So founding members will continue to help shape what this space becomes, and I'd be honored to have you be a part of that beginning. So thank you for joining me here twice a day for our daily 15-minute microdose for macro living. Now let's close with 1 breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. We're going to exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. Central. I'm Madison Samone Chase, and this is Cut to the Chase at 8, You are ready, set to grow and go. Let's be clear and let's be great. Blessings to you and yours. Until tomorrow.